Hello everybody, welcome to an interesting modelling company pop-up live. A couple of technical hitches there, very cold in the workshop tonight. We're just going to blitz through a couple of things here in the workshop and also start a new project. But let's just give you a quick update on the new Audi Quattro, and I've given it a couple of coats of Tamiya X1 gloss white, and at the moment I'm just letting this cure at the moment. Then I'll go at it with some polishing compounds, but bearing in mind that this is going to be a rally car, I'm not too bothered about getting a super kind of concours finish because I will be weathering this thing. So we will be chucking kind of dust and mud and, you know, all that kind of gunk on it. So we've got a white on, so that's good. I will also make mention of this beastie, which I think I picked this up from Poundland. I think it's a cake cover or something. Ideal for protecting your painted models when they're in the spray booth. So for a quid, absolute bargain, that is. A bargain. Anyway, what are we actually going to start building tonight? Wow. I got this model beginning of the year, and it is by Sabre, and it's in conjunction with 1602 or 1602, and it is a German Hanomag RL20 tractor. It's rather nice. I do believe we have featured this on the show before, and we will go through the kit tonight as we start to build it. But, and this was also supplied rather kindly by the Frew Model Centre in Somerset. So a big shout to Luke and Co for this. I'm finally going to get round to building this. I think I picked it up back in the early spring, and then I had my my holiday, my interlude, and yeah, we're gonna crack on and build this. Hopefully, be able to take it to them at Telford in a couple of weeks. But before we do any of that, we have some housekeeping to do here, and the housekeeping is, namely, it is time to replace these blades. Now, these were used to build the new Audi Quattro, but I noticed as I was working on that model that the blade quality of these was starting to diminish. So I have fresh blades here. I always make sure I've got plenty of blades in stock. So that's a Swan Morton number 10, a 10A rather, and also these curved craft blades I always have these in stock. As you can see, I have a pretty good supply there. So we'll swap the blades over. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, be very careful when you're doing this. I had, oops, wrong blade. I had an Airfix craft knife when I was a young lad. In fact, there it is. And I managed to carve my thumb up something rotten with it on Christmas Day because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So I always keep my thumb well away from the edge, which is what I didn't do on Christmas Day in 1979. And then push it into position and then fasten it into place. That's it. So that's that one done. With the 10A, they can be a little bit tricky, which is why I've got the pliers ready. And there we go. I'll get rid of that one. And there is our beautiful brand new 10A blade. again, I'm keeping my thumb well away from the blade edge and pop it in place with the pliers. So those 2 bits of paper can go out for the recycling. The unwanted blades, I put them into a container for the disposal of blades, the safe disposal of blades. It's worth the investment. Honestly, it's not a clever thing to chuck them in with all your rubbish. So anyway, there we go. We've got 2 fresh blades on the Swan Mortons there. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, and a big shout out to Drew, who a few years ago said to me, invest in one of these metal handled ones. I have. It has been absolutely beautiful. Right. Let's go and have a quick look at the comments and see what people are saying. Anfield Road in the Loft says hi. I do like having a Liverpool fan on the show. Jan Valek says hello, Jem. Mike Reeves says hi from the land of the blue skies. Indeed. Darren McQuillan says evening all. And Dave Fleming says hi from the land of the blue appendages. It's a bit like that in here tonight, Dave. I've just put the heating on and yeah, it is perishing, absolutely perishing. Anyway, shall we make a model? Ooh, right. So, as you can see, we've already been looking at this and already dispensed with all the extraneous plastic bags. So, I'm just going to have a quick run through the instructions to see what is involved here, and it would appear that the first task is to build the engine block, and we've got some other bits and pieces which poke up through the chassis. So it says there, tips, please pay attention to the parts features before cutting. So yeah, we've got more gubbins there for the chassis. I get the feeling this is going to be one of those models where you are going to be doing so many, gluing so many bits together, and it's all going to be stuff on the underside. And yeah, you've got the engine there, and we've got, because this has got a partially exposed engine, so leaf springs. Goodness me, look. Let's try and zoom in on that, but look at the amount of detail they pack into those leaf springs. That is, that's going to be a couple of evenings' work, or an evening's work anyway. And then we've got the cabin. No figure in this kit, by the way, despite the fact the box art shows 2 figures. And we've got some photo etch bits and pieces there, photo etch there, and there we go. For what looks like a quite deceptively simple kit, there are a lot of bits and pieces going into this. So, shall we crack on? So I'm going to follow the suggested construction sequence. So let's find sprue C. Exciting stuff, isn't it? What did you do on Thursday night? I watched a confused man from Dudley build a Hanomag tractor live on the internet. Oh, you were watching the Interesting Modelling Company, weren't you? Yes, I was. Yeah, same old, same old. Viewer David says, could do with a tractor down here today. And viewer Shane in Australia says, good morning, JM and all. Good morning, Shane. Lovely to have you with us. Now, for the cutting, I am going to be using my beloved Despy nippers, which I bought at Telford 4 years ago. Goodness me, that was all pre-pandemic. When I say I bought, I was forced to buy a pair by Mr. Drew Manton of this parish, who literally frog marched me over to this stand that was selling them, because he was utterly appalled at how I was trying to cut things off of sprues, using a knife like this, and he just went, no, you're getting a pair of Despy cutters. And you know what? I'm so glad he forced me to do that, because they are one of the best modeling investments I have ever made. They were nothing short of about £35, but as soon as I started using them, it was like a light bulb went off. They just, the precision of them, and it's nothing like trying to hack bits off of a sprue with a sharp knife. It was just a revelation. And so thank you, Drew. That was a genius suggestion there. Right, we're going to glue some bits together now. So I'm using my trusty Tamiya extra thin quick setting, which I absolutely love. And two ways of doing this, but I'm just going to brush some along the seam, give it a quick squeeze, and then go for the other side and just let the capillary action do the job for me. Might put a little bit more on that side because I think I was a little bit mean with it. We're off. We are off. And what have we got here? We've got some other bits and pieces that need to go onto the engine block there. So I'm just going to say, right, Tim Cavalier says, greetings from a cold, rainy Idaho. Greetings, Tim. It's very cold and wet and rainy here in the north of Somerset tonight. So, yeah, it's autumn has arrived. Right, I'm just having a look for C5. That'll go with a bang. So yes, we've got Telford coming up in just over 10 days' time. Goodness me, 10 days. So I will be, in theory, I will be with Spencer on the Hobby Company stand doing some modeling demos. So I'm looking forward to that because we've done them in the past and they're always good fun. And it's always terrific to, be at a model show and actually get on with some modeling. Oh, there we go. That little bit nips in there and it covers up that hulking great seam. So, okie dokie, we'll glue that one in place, I think. Anybody out there, if you've never used Tamiya quick setting extra thin, it is an absolute dream. And I don't want to call it a glue because it's a solvent, but I suppose we do call it a glue. But honestly, there we go. That's welded in place now. And I think we'll pop that other bit on the back as well. Has a quick look. Oh no, we've got some extra bits to do there. So what are we looking for? C2, you sunk my battleship. And now these Despy cutters nippers rather, are probably well past their optimum cutting ability, but they still do an absolutely bang up job. Much better than I could do. Well, much better than I could do with a just like a pair of ordinary kind of cutters that you can buy for cheap and cheerful. So I would say if you have seen them in action and you have prevaricated about getting a pair, They are absolutely fabulous. I mean, Drew and I, we've got them. We swear by them. I think Spencer's got a pair as well. Just one of the best modelling investments I've ever made. C9 and C16. In fact, when I came back from Telford that year, I do remember sitting here in the workshop. That was the same year that I invested in this beautiful massive LED light, which again has been a revelation, just to have so much light in the workshop. Goodness me, what was I using before? It was just like a general lamp that I got from Do It All apps. I mean, it was good for the time, but no, it just started to. There's no competition with this LED one, and I'm tempted to get another one at Telford so that I can have a pair. Right, I'm just having a quick look there, because they did make the point of saying not to watch what you cut. And just going to zoom in. I was having a look at this and thinking, oh, is that a sprue nub that I haven't dealt with? No, that keys into it keys into that hole there. So pays to be patient, folks. It's not a race. Although when you're building a model for a display at Telford, it really is a race. But and just a little bit on the top there as well. That's fine. Excellent. Oh, lovely, 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 lovely. I'm just seeing what the comments are here. Go for it. Painting says hello. Phil says evening all. Juan Francisco Molinido says good afternoon from Central America. It's literally that Tony Hancock thing, isn't it? Friends all over the world, all over the world. None in this country, but all over the world. Tony Surridge says hello there, chap. Steve Johnson says hello. Good afternoon, JM. Good afternoon, Steve. I am working on your Christmas hamper, so. And I also would like to give a shout out to my mother. Thank you for the Halloween mug, Mum. I love it. I'm still using it, even though Halloween was 2 days ago. I love my Halloween mug, so thank you. And we're also having tonight some Clipper herbal tea. Posh. Oh. Right, let's have a look for the base of this thing. C14, there it is. And we're still using, if you haven't invested in these Infini Standers, I bought a pack of them 2 years ago. It was a twin pack of the 400s, so I thought I'll go for like a medium grit one. I haven't even used the other one yet, and this is still the original one that I bought 2 years ago. Oh, it's just, I mean, the fact that it's still going and it hasn't fallen apart, it speaks volumes for its quality. I think I paid about £10 for a pack of them, and I got them from Premium Hobbies. Hello, Premium Hobbies, who are based just up the road here in Weston-super-Mare. Yeah, they are just the best sanding sticks I have ever owned. Well, this is a sanding sponge, you can see, but they are absolutely worth their weight in gold. I adore them. I literally do. Right, let's have a look. How is this fat end there, apparently? There we go. that's all in place. God knows where my stupid cat is. He's outside somewhere. He's sat in the garage. Probably likes it out there because it starts raining and things come out. And yep, well, we're moving this one along. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Now, the one thing is that where we're joining bits and pieces together, I am going to have to wait for some of these things to dry off overnight before I start sanding seams down. Also, and I don't know whether you can see this on the instructions, I'll zoom in, but there is an absolute lack of color information. You're on your own on this one, folks. So I think we'll be guessing that it will be painted a grey color, and it will be a grey color with lots of gunk and oil and stuff on it, so grease and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about that. But yeah, it's slightly noticeable that there is a distinct lack of painting information for this. And in fact, let's just skip ahead to the end of the story. I'm just trying to see where the painting information is actually. Bear with. Well, that appears to be the painting information there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I'm also trying to remember if this has decals in the kit. I don't think it does. No stickers, folks. I'm sure there should be. Nope. No decals in the kit, apparently, because I'm just looking at the parts count there, and it shows you all the sprues, but apparently no decals. So I'll double check that, but honestly, I don't think I've misplaced them, mislaid them rather. How strange. Well, not really. It's a way of saving money, I suppose. So right, let's have a look and see what else we can. What else? I'm going to jump ahead from a couple of steps here. Aha. Yep. No, we can cover one of those seams up there with another part, and I'm looking for A5. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. A5. There it is. So yes, we're doing modeling demos on the Hobby Company stand over the weekend. So that'll be Spencer and myself. And I think Spence is going to be cracking on with the new Tamiya 48 scale F35B. I don't know what I'm building, probably something armory or some armor kit or something. Whatever it is, I'm going to enjoy it because it's building models, it shows. Let's just nip that little bit off the top there. And we we've got a little bit of sprue just on the end there. And we've still got a little bit on the inside there. It's just a little bit of flash just on the end there. No, that's fine. That's fine. I think a little thing of liquid cement will deal with that. So that's what's going on here? Bear with me a sec, folks. I'm trying to work out why this doesn't want to. Oh, I can see why. I wasn't very conscientious in getting rid of a little bit of plastic there. That is fouling everything up. There we go. That's better. Yep, that's fine. That's in place now. So just a tiny yep, there we go. I mean, this is the beauty of the Tamiya extra thin liquid cement, is that it goes off so quickly. It's absolute genius stuff. It really is. Let's have a look. What do we want? We want to put that rocker cover on. So that's part C15. Oh, there we are. C15, there it is. I will come back and read the comments in a second. Just bear with me. The thing I like about this 400 grit is that it's powerful enough to slice through stuff, but it doesn't kind of leave lots of scratches behind. Having said that, one of the things that I do like to employ when it comes to cleaning up with anything that I've sanded is a piece of Scotch-Brite or Merlon, or whatever you want to call it. Get this for cheap as chips well, pretty much everywhere. And let's have a look. This is good because if we zoom in, they've actually keyed, or handed rather, the location tabs there. So they actually, there's no way you can glue them on the wrong way round. So I'm just going to do a quick test fit. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So a little bit of liquid cement, just let the capillary action do the work for me. There we go. Right, let's go and have a look at the comments, shall we? Captain Magenta, bum, 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 bum. He says, Cripes, bonus JM. Andy Brennan says, greetings from the drowned Sussex coast. Yeah, it's pretty grim down there. And Anthony Bird says, well, if it's painting Dora wings fall short, queried the reason no paint details on their 1/48 scale Fairchild AU23, and they replied, we were unsure, so we leave it up to you. Yeah, I've built a couple of Dora wings kits, and I like them. I'm a big fan of them, but they can be a little bit vague when it comes to the painting instructions. And it seems that viewer Mike is not having fun with with his Great Wall 48 scale Eagle, and it is apparently going to have a meeting with a bin. So viewer Captain Magenta says, missed the start. How's the Quattro going? Okay, we will just quickly dive back to the Quattro for Captain Magenta. And there we go. It's had a coat of Tamiya X2 on there now. So I followed Spence's method, which is you put some tooth coats down, then you let those harden off, then you put down a wet coat, then you put down a wet coat which is more thinner than actual paint. So yeah, that seems to work. I could probably do better next time, and also it's white paint. Goodness me, that's an absolute nuisance to try and spray. But as my excuse is that as this is a rally car, we're going to be chucking weathering at it. So I'm not going to be that concerned about getting a concours finish. So that's my excuse anyway. Right, let's have a look and see where we are with the track. Right, there's another bit that we can glue on. And Tony Surridge says, I have this kit, no photo etch, no painting details, no decals. What are we, men or modelers? Maybe both. I'm not going to answer that. Yeah, it's I do sometimes think that you see people struggling with things, and you kind of think to yourself, well, I don't understand how you're struggling there. It's fairly straightforward. Yeah, I can understand not everybody is at the same level in this hobby, but I'm also thinking to myself that me, you, and everybody watching this tonight, we were of a generation who were probably making their models in utter isolation from other human beings. So if we came across a problem, we had to figure it out ourselves. So, but the world changes, so I'm not going to criticize people certainly not for asking questions. So anyway, we are looking for part A4. Oh my goodness me, it's so small. Small parts, and I definitely need new glasses. These are fine for distance, but when it comes to close up, they are not good fun. And I'm just going to get I also made the mistake in hospital of not biting my nails, which you think is probably a good thing. And I thought, oh, I'll grow my nails because that will be good for my guitar playing. In theory, yes, but the problem is because I'm right-handed, I keep breaking all the nails on my right hand, so that's the hand that I would use to pluck the strings. And because I don't, because like I say, because I'm right-handed, the nails on my left hand have been the ones that have been growing splendidly. But as I'm finding out tonight, it's very tricky sometimes to be trying to handle things with nail. And I know you're probably all sitting there shouting at me saying, "Why don't you trim your nails?" Yeah, well, that's a very good point. Anyway. What do you do on Thursday night? I tuned in to watch the Interesting Modelling Company, but JM was just banging on about his nails. So right, we've done that little cap there. So we will glue that onto the top there like so. Oh, fine. That sits in there almost straight away. Let's get it on camera. That might help. Oh, it's time for another sip of herbal tea, I think. I'm just having a quick look at the comments. Right, viewer Anthony says, I was hoping for a really easy build of a nice aircraft and now having to look at Rodin instructions with a second-hand copy of Air America, God, what an awful film, to see if it's white or silver. Nothing like research, but really did not want to spend time doing that on this one. Back on the shelf, never to see the light of day again. Yeah, sorry about that, Anthony. That's yeah, that's not good. Cheers, my dears. Oh, oops. Yeah, I mean it's. I think when you are building something like, I know this is going to sound stating the obvious, really, but when you are building something by Tamiya and you are left in no doubt as to what color things should be painted, I mean, that's the difference. That's why Tamiya are the gold standard, and other kit companies do try to play catch up with them. But sometimes some kit companies, they it's almost an attitude of kind of like, well, they're modelers, they'll figure it out for themselves. It's like, Anyway, right, let's glue some more bits on. What are we coming up to? Goodness me, we've been on for 40 minutes. Some of you people have endured 40 minutes of me blathering away here. So I am going to do probably about another 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to go and have my supper and also watch some more episodes of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Love that. Great show. Hit the ground running with that one, they did. Right, let's get these little bits out of the way. Yeah, I might, at Telford, I might invest in a new pair of Despy cutters. I think 4 years use out of them has been exceptional. I know some people think, well, isn't that a lot of money to be spending on something to chop bits of plastic off of sprues? Probably is, but it is such a joy to use them. And as I said, when I came back from Telford that year, 2019, I just remember sitting at the workbench. I didn't want to do any painting. I just wanted to sit there and snip bits of plastic off of sprues. And I'll tell you something, it was quite funny at Telford because I had some modeling friends came over to the stand, and they were looking at these Despy cutters and they were going, oh, are these any good? And I said, well, give them have a try, give them a go. And somebody picked them up and cut cut a small little piece off of a sprue, and it was like comedy double take. And they immediately cut another piece off, not actual kit parts, just chopping bits of sprue up. And yeah, they were absolutely sold on them. So probably sold as many Despy cutters at the weekend through word of mouth than other methods. So, but they are utterly brilliant, folks. You see, and I'm one of those modelers who I don't mind investing in the equipment because, oh God, who needs kits? Sorry, kit manufacturers, but I think we're all as bad as each other for having more kits than we'll ever build. But I genuinely don't think you can go wrong buying tools all the time. I know Drew's the same, and we are absolute suckers for finding stuff. And sometimes we try it and it's like, oh, that was great. Sometimes we try it and we think, oh, right, okay, that wasn't quite the experience I was expecting. But you've got to do these things. Right. Let's get that bit of sprue off the end. So I'm just doing a double check there. A23. I remember the instructions telling you to make sure that you are not cutting actual bits of detail off, because I suddenly had a flashback there of like, oh my goodness me, am I chopping some detail off? I'm not. Detail is at that end. There it is there. So goodness me, I cleaned my nails earlier on, and that's just doing this modeling tonight. That's just bits of plastic and shavings and stuff. As what you do on Thursday night? Oh, he's so vain. He started cleaning his nails halfway through the program. I'll come back and read the comments in a minute, folks. Whoops, lazy. Drops the part. Oh, that'll do. And right, this is where we are going to need a pair of tweezers, and we have some rather nice Tamiya ones here. And I'm just going to drop that into place like so. That's fine. Oops, try and get it on camera. Might help. There we go. So I just managed to knock that that bit on the top there. So we'll just give that a quick wick of some. Right, let's not do any more work on the engine because it is quite fragile. So let's do some other bits, but let's read some of the comments, shall we? Mike Reeves says, goodness me, Michael, what did you do to them? He says, I binned my 3-month-old Meng Despy cutters. I'm the oddball. Yeah, they weren't Despy cutters, Mike. They were Meng cutters, but they're called side cutters. And the reason for that is that they don't. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I'll try and zoom in a bit. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but what you've got is, goodness me, they're a bit rusty. But what you've got is, you've got one side is the actual cutting side, but the other side is just like a blunt edge. So it works in like a guillotining action. Whereas for the most part, other cutters, let me just go and grab another pair of cutters. Rather unfairly, I've just picked up a pair of Xuron cutters, but these are, yeah, I mean, let's just show you what happens here. And these work by, it's the pressure between them. So you can see there where I've just chopped those bits off, you can see how it's quite blunt. You can see that it's not a very neat cut. Whereas if I go in there with the 4-year-old Despise, look at that. Absolutely. Like bone through butter. So as I keep saying, these are past their best, but they are still better than so many other kind of bits of, so many other different types of cutters out there. So, okay. Dave Fleming says Meng repackaged Despite. Okay, I didn't know that. Anthony Bird says one blade and an anvil, and Mike says they say Despite on the packaging. Okay, error there. I shot myself in the foot there. Viewer Anthony says, hope this will not sound impolite, but do you use any sort of magnifier items, JM, as some of those parts would be beyond my eyesight? I have to use a head magnifier rig. Used to have the best ever eyesight for close-up. Distance is always my issue. Do you know what? I do have, it's hanging up behind me. Let me just bring the thing there. You can probably see just there, I've got, by the Christmas lights, because everybody puts Christmas lights in their workshop, I've got a pair of magnifiers, and they've got lights built in as well. I think I picked them up at Telford for, I think it was about 25 quid, but I really could do with investing in a quality pair. So it might be on my shopping list for this year, fingers crossed. It's, without sounding grim, folks, I'm suddenly very conscious of the fact that having seen poor old Marcus go down with COVID today, is we are that close to Telford. What I don't want is to catch that blessed virus again. So I'm doing my best to avoid it. Let's put it that way. But let's go back to the, let's get on with some modeling. Stop talking about COVID and let's get on with some modeling. Oh, actually, I will mention these. These were some tweezers that I got off of Amazon, and I think I paid, goodness me, I think I paid less than a tenner for them. They are absolutely beautiful. You can buy tweezers that just malform very, very quickly. These, I think these are made of a tempered steel and whatever. They are absolutely fabulous. And I try and remember how much I paid for these. Probably something like about £9. But honestly, it was one of those occasions where I thought I'll take a punt. If they end up being junk, they end up being junk. No, absolutely brilliant. So there we go. So let's do some of the chassis, and then we're going to go and have some supper and watch some Star Trek, because I'm a 56-year-old man. Of course, I watch Star Trek. And then hopefully we'll see you on Sunday for the Sunday service. Now, sprue A, for goodness sake. I put sprue A down. Here it is. Here is sprue A. And I'm looking for A28. There it is. Goodness me, there are some absolutely monstrous sprue tabs on that. In fact, that's a bit tricksy. I don't know if you can see this, but the sprue gates really kind of run into where there's detail. So I'm going to pull it up this side and go in there and try and do it as neatly as possible. But these gates absolutely do go right into where the detail is. There we go. Oops. Yeah, you can see there, because you've got these curved bits here, but you can see there. That's why we need to get in there with a sharp blade. No, let's put it on camera. That'll do. Yeah, we should have some t-shirts made, interesting modeling company t-shirts made, one of which just says that'll do. Another one says bear with. Another one says scrolls down. Now you'd think that these sanding sponges would be unwieldy to use on small parts like this. I don't. I find the fact that because you can kind of hold them, that you can actually kind of get them into tight plate, these tight little corners and things. So, right, we've got a little bit of gunk there, but we'll just, there we go, scrape it away. You can also tidy up some of these sanded edges with a little, come on, man. A little brushed application of liquid cement, which will deburr things. Right, we're going to glue a couple more bits on tonight, and then that's it. I need to go and have some supper and watch some television, so I do apologize. Right, A10. Do you know what? A10, that is a machine I've never made a model of. And I'm trying to think who gave me the Matchbox A10, which is a horrific kit. It's not even an A10, but what it is it is a prototype A10. And it always, as a kid, it always felt like one of those impossibly exotic kits that I could not afford. I'm trying to think who gave me. It might have been Rob Monfils. I'm sure it was, actually. So I will get around to building that. Yeah, famous last words. I will get around to building that, but okay, so that sits on there, and apparently you've got to drill some holes out of it as well, which is rather weird because there's already holes there. But I get the funny feeling what they're saying is that the hole that is molded here isn't big enough for that part to drop into. But I'm going to glue that into place first of all, because we need to wrap it up for tonight. Captain Magenta knows me too well. He's got cover it with mud. Yep. That's what we're going to be doing with this one. Well, it's what we're going to be doing with this one and the Audi as well. So oops, there we go. Right, that's it. That is the last bit I'm going to be doing for tonight, because you people have got better things to do than watch a confused man from Dudley build a model live on the internet. So beautiful kit. I mean, it's I'm enjoying it. It's but it's not, like I say, you come to appreciate how much effort Tamiya put into things. And yeah, it's nothing about this that I'm disliking at the moment. So and yeah, we are going to be chucking the old weathering at it. In fact, I'm just having a quick look at the one on the box art. Bear with. Again, interesting modeling company cliche, that is. But just going to bring the box art up here. I quite like the idea of doing one in doing one with winter whitewash on it. So get the old hairspray out. So it's that thing of that juxtaposition of having something that is kind of like with that chipped white finish, but also absolutely caked in mud and grime. So that's the plan. That's kind of like I've got an idea. Hold on, lads, I got an idea. Anthony Bird says, have the Infinity sanding sticks based on your recommendation. Okay, thank you very much. But I still use my old Squadron standard sanding sticks. Just been using their Tri-Grit premium sanding stick only tonight. Three grits on one stick. We'll really miss it when it finally dies. Viewer Dave makes a very good point. He says, didn't you build an A10 a few years ago? Few years back, cruiser tank that is. Very good, viewer Dave. It's actually here in the workshop, up on the shelf there. But I did actually start building an Airfix A10. This is going back nearly 10 years ago. I got one, and I remember sat here and I thought, oh, I'm going to build it. I don't know why I stopped. Modeler stops project halfway through. There's a news story. So yeah, I'll see what I can do. Viewer Dave also reminds me that on that note, yeah, that is we're going to have a whole line of merchandise that you can all wear. Anyway, I need to go and have some supper. So fingers crossed, we'll be back on Sunday with the Sunday service. hopefully Drew is feeling better. He's a bit under the weather at the moment, but obviously we send our best wishes to him. He's cracking on with his F-35 though, so I don't know if you've. Do you know what? Let's give him some. Let's give him a bit of publicity, shall we? Drew's model page. Here we go. Here we go. So. Share screen, shares screen. There it is. So he's building his F-35B, and oh, I haven't liked it. There we go. That's a bit embarrassing. He says more decals than you might think, and we'll bring the image up. And yeah, it's quite a lot of decals on that. I mean, I've built the Italeri kit 3 years ago, and I do remember there being a lot of decals on it, but this is obviously this 48 scale and it's Tamiya. So anyway, there we go. So if you head over to Drew's model page and give him a like, give him a follow, and yep, there we go. I need some food, folks. So on that note, I see Dave. See, Dave knows me. On that note, very good. On that note, fingers crossed, we'll see you on Sunday. Until then, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you all very soon. So bye for now.